So this year, most of my lectures are actually happening in the management school. However, in my first 2 years, they were mostly around the IC, Information Commons, and the Diamond, so that's closer to Firth Court. And yeah, it's pretty great. And my favorite study space, I'd say definitely used to be Coffee Revs, which is just inside the Students' Union. However, since I've been going to the management school more recently, the cafe in there is actually pretty good too. So I really like sitting there, just getting a coffee, using a computer that they provide to you, and just be there all day.
I get taught in a variety of buildings in Sheffield, including the management school. My favourite building, I think, is the silent study room in Higgs Building, and no one really goes there, so you get to have a room to yourself, maybe share it with one other person. It's a nice sweet spot and has comfy chairs. When I'm with friends, though, I usually go to the IC because it's just a lot bigger and you tend to meet people that are studying too.
As a first-year business management and economics student, most of my lectures take place around the city area of our campus, so buildings such as the Diamond and St. George's Church. But what I love the most is that I'm always getting to know new buildings when going to my lectures, so it's always an amazing way to get to know Sheffield. And as for study spaces, I love going to the Diamond, which is really close to my accommodation in Alencourt, the city accommodation of the university. But I also love Western Library, which has an amazing silent study space area and really pretty views.
We mainly get taught in lecture halls, which is supplemented with online teaching. So all lectures are recorded, and there'll be like podcasts and readings sometimes to do depending on the lecture. Although we have the management school as a building, your lectures will be in buildings across the whole of the Sheffield campus, which I personally enjoyed. I think it's a great way to get to know the city better. My favourite study space is the silent study room in the Western Bank Library. I just think it's really picturesque and it's a really good place to get the work done.
So throughout your university life, you'll be taught in various different buildings across campus. For example, this year I have lectures and tutorials at the management school, some in the Richard Roberts building, some in the Arts Tower, some in the Higgs building, some in the SU. So you'll always get to be moving around. Most of the buildings that I've mentioned and where you will be are kind of on central campus, which are very close by together. You can easily walk from one lecture or tutorial to the next.
In the first year, you are very likely to have your lectures in different lecture theatres across the campus, whereas in the second and in the third year, you might have more lectures in smaller lecture theatres in management school. When it comes to independent studies, there are a few libraries, with Western Bank being my favourite because of its huge glass windows that offer a beautiful view on a Western Park.
Even though I'm part of the management school, my classes are everywhere really. I get to walk around campus and go to the different buildings where my seminars and lectures are, and that gives me the opportunity to explore university a little bit more. And my favorite place to study would definitely be the IC, the Information Commons. I find it really vibrant and warm, and it's just easier to concentrate for me there.